Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. NFL Week 15 and one college bowl game today. We'll get to those. So Monday Night Football, obviously, and the college game. We're not going to give you a ton of time before the college game starts, but Old Dominion, Western Kentucky, the reason why this line has moved so much from like 1 to 6.5 or 6 is pretty simple. Western Kentucky is out their starting quarterback, their backup quarterback, and a few other skill position players on offense are all in the transfer portal or sitting out. And defensive line missing a few players as well. Old Dominion seems to be pretty much intact. So we are taking Old Dominion in this particular matchup. We're taking ODU -0.5 first quarter, -2.5 first half, and -6.5 for the game. I'm sorry, -3.5 first half. If I could read my own writing here. So Old Dominion, ODU, -0.5 first quarter, -3.5 first half, and -6.5 for the game on the college side. So basically a fade against the transfer portal. Hopefully college bowl season goes a little bit better today. We're also going to give you tomorrow's picks as well to give you those. So UTSA against Marshall. UTSA definitely high-powered team. Marshall not so much. We like UTSA quite a bit in this matchup, and we like the total. So we're going to give you those. So we got UTSA -2.5 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -11.5 for the game. We also like over the total over 10.5 first quarter, over 27.5 total first half, and over 52.5 total for the game. So one more time in the UTSA Marshall matchup, UTSA -2.5 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -11.5 for the game. We also like the over 10.5 total first quarter, 27.5 total first half, and over 52.5 total for the game. Now we'll get into that Monday Night Football matchup, Seahawks-Eagles. The Eagles have been through an extremely rough stretch, right? They had the Chiefs, the Bills, the Cowboys in the last three, and the 49ers, I believe, before that. And then they got the Seahawks on the road. Seattle's a hard place to play. They call it the 12th man for a reason. Extremely tough. Going to be even tougher on a Monday Night Football there. I'm sure it's going to be cold, wet, and windy as it normally is in Seattle. There's not many days that aren't like that, especially this time of season. We still don't know quarterback-wise. Think it's going to be Geno, but there's no props yet out for no prop bets on the quarterback side for the Seahawks. Jalen Hurts comes down with an illness, had to fly separately out, not away from the team in order to get there. The line has moved. We did take it yesterday. I didn't think it was coming off this number. I thought it actually might go the other way, but there seemed to be maybe a couple of sharp bettors that put some Eagles money in. But home dog Monday night, we tend to always go that direction anyway. That's always going to be the lean and then throw some info behind it. The Seattle defense has been a lot better than it has been. The Philadelphia defense a lot worse than it has been, right? So and now Darius Slay's also going to be out in defensive backfield. And I think Seattle's going to be able to run the ball. And Pete Carroll is 7-0 against the Eagles, if that matters at all as well. So we're going to take the Seahawks +0.5 first quarter, +1.5 first half, +3 for the game. Seahawks over 9.5 team total first half, over 20.5 team total for the game. Eagles under the 24.5 team total. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. If you follow our show, you got that already, the best bet that we put out. Jalen Hurts interception. Jalen Hurts under 1.5 passing touchdowns. A.J. Brown under 82.5 receiving yards. DK Metcalf over 62.5 receiving yards. A.J. Brown under 6.5 receptions. He's disappeared since he had that 5-6 game stretch where he put up like 900 yards. And it seemed like 5-6 touchdowns. He's been stuck at the 7 touchdown mark for multiple weeks, and they haven't been able to get him the ball. As most people have figured out how to play defense, you just push him out to the corner as they only seem to run him outside. If the Eagles would wise up and run deep crosses and slant routes with A.J. Brown, they would have a lot. But Hurts seems to struggle on throwing the ball over the middle versus throwing the ball to the outside. So to beat that Eagles offense, stop the run game is number one, and then contain A.J. Brown, and the rest of them really can't kill you too bad. Devontae Smith's a hell of a receiver, but he's not A.J. Brown. on that one. Goddard's a good tight end, but he's not A.J. Brown. So take away Brown, take away the run game, you got a fantastic shot to win this game outright as well. Then we've got Kenneth Walker, over 47.5 rushing yards as well. DeAndre Swift, we do think will be able to run the ball a little bit, over 58.5 rush yards. DeAndre Swift, over 13.5 rush attempts. And Jake Elliott, over 1.5 field goals for the Eagles. And I think they're going to get to the red zone and stall out. The Seahawks have a lot of bend-don't-break defense. Like I said, their defense has been better than it has been the last couple years. And they're not back to their strength when they were Legion of Doom, but they're right. They're moving in the right direction on that one. So we'll give you that Monday Night Football game one more time. Seahawks, Eagles. Seahawks plus a half first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus 3 for the game. Seahawks over 9.5 team total first half. Seahawks over 20.5 team total for the game. Eagles under the 24.5 team total. Kenneth Walker, anytime touchdown. Jalen Hurts under 1.5 passing touchdowns. A.J. Brown under 82.5 receiving yards. DK Metcalf, though, over 62.5 receiving yards. A.J. Brown under 6.5 receptions. Kenneth Walker over 47.5 rush yards. DeAndre Swift over 58.5 rush yards. I believe they're going to rush him a lot, as well as DeAndre Swift over 13.5 rush attempts. And Jake Elliott over 1.5 field goals. When this Eagles team has been really good on offense, Swift sees a lot of the ball. And he should see a lot of the ball tonight, especially if Jalen Hurts isn't feeling well. And I assume that they're going to put, either Witherspoon or one of the other great secondary guys that they've got on A.J. Brown to kind of shut him down. The Seahawks do defense a little bit different than some teams do, and what I would do. I would build from the line out. The defensive line, you can make any secondary look really good if you have a fantastic pass rush. It's hard to cover guys for 6 or 7 seconds or 3 or 4 seconds if for any corner out there. Even the best shutdown corners in the league have a hard time for doing that unless they're playing some sort of zone. Of course, the Seahawks are known for their cover 3 defense, which has worked well for them, especially when they have playmakers on the backside, which they do. Jamal Adams is back. He's been causing a little bit of havoc and a little bit of problem. But their best player, the one they got in the draft, Devin Witherspoon, has been fantastic all season long. Whether it's either rushing the quarterback or making plays and tackling. He's been a great pickup for them. It kind of shocked everybody, I think, when they took him 5th in this year's draft. But he has panned out to be worth the 5th pick for sure. And that's just one season, let alone if he's got multiple years and Pro Bowls left in him. On that one. So great job for them. Like, they just build defense from secondary, like from the out in. A little bit different way to do it, but they've made it successful in the past where it got to a couple Super Bowls and even won one of them. So the Eagles have been struggling tremendously on the offense continuity, so to speak, of making it work. Their defense is struggling right now. They need a huge game out of Hassan Reddick. They need a huge game out of Jalen Carter. In order to get a win here in Seattle. I just don't know if they're going to have those huge games in order to cover up for the rest of the weak areas they have on that defense. If that pass rush ain't cooking, that defense is not good. That pass rush has to be elite in order for that defense to be above average. And that's what they need tonight. I think the Seattle offensive line is probably going to be up to the task. I assume they're going to do that with running the damn ball. The key is to run the ball early and often, and then get those play-action passes down the field for DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett or the underneath stuff in Jigba that they've been doing so far this season. But that's the key to success for Seattle and the key to success for the Eagles. I just think you give me the 3 points in a game that should be tightly contested, I'll take the 3 and take my chances on that one. So I do appreciate so I mentioned earlier in this episode, I'm sure, that there is a ledger of our bets. It's what we call our Google Sheet. On the end of every episode in the comment section, you will see a link to the Google Sheet that'll show all of our bets, what juice we got those at, how many units we placed on it, what book we placed them at, and then also your net result, win and loss on each one of those bets. And then obviously we run a total for the season where we're at. We've had a good season so far in football, up over 2,100 units. Bowl season for Saturday sucked. We'll be honest. I think it sucked for most of the handicappers out there, as it went totally against the grain. Even though we went opposite on a game, we hit that game, but we missed the rest. So it's just one of those things that happen. It's like watching a stock. Some days it loses, most days it wins. So on that one there. So make sure you get a chance to check out the Google Sheet. You can check out football, obviously, for tonight, this afternoon. You can also check out basketball if you want to look at basketball going on. We've got a bunch of NBA plays for today as well, and they'll be coming out in our next episode. So make sure you check out those as well. I do appreciate, and one more thing, make sure you subscribe and get notifications to the YouTube channel. So we drop our bets, you get those first. Makes life really simple. Once you subscribe and turn those notifications on, you'll get a notification to your device or phone, let you know sports bets for free has dropped some new bets, and give you plenty of time matching them with your bets in order to give you a ton of confidence heading to that betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.